Welcome to our channel. Discover and know, my dear friends. We will show you the art of making and serving food. What is the tourism industry? The rise of platforms like Airbnb has increased the popularity of shared accommodation, which typically consists of a space in a house, which may be shared with the owners. The accommodation itself may consist of a private room, or maybe a room that is shared with other guests using the facility at the same time. Hostels tourism is generally regarded as the act of traveling to a different location, for either business or pleasure purposes. However, it actually has quite a specific definition: the act of traveling to another environment, for at least 24 hours, but for no longer than 1 year, for purposes related to business or leisure. A tourist is generally only classed as such if they stay in overnight accommodation situated in the location they travel to. By its very nature, tourism involves a round trip, rather than travel in one direction only. With this in mind, the tourism industry refers to all aspects of the service industry that cater to tourists. What is the travel industry? Travel refers to the act of moving from one location to another. This can refer to long-distance travel, short-distance travel, overseas travel, domestic travel and various other forms. Crucially, travel also includes both round trips and one-way journeys, and it covers a wide variety of different travel purposes. The travel industry, therefore, refers to the numerous aspects of the wider service industry which cater for the needs and desires of those who have traveled from one part of the world to another. The difference between the travel and tourism industry. Given the definitions above, it is understandable that many people struggle to see much of a distinction between the tourism industry and the travel industry. Indeed, there is clearly significant overlap between the two, and many of the businesses and services that cater for tourists also cater for travelers more generally. Nevertheless, there are some notable differences. Essentially, the tourism industry is concerned with people traveling for business or pleasure purposes, staying in their destination for at least one night, and then returning. By contrast, the travel industry has a wider scope, covering more travel purposes and durations. Sectors and companies within the travel and tourism industry. 1. Transportation. The transportation sector is one of the most obvious sectors that falls under both the travel and tourism umbrellas, and is concerned with the movement of people from one location to another. This includes a wide variety of different types of travel, including air, road, rail and water-based methods. This sector enables tourism in the first place, but also provides tourists with a means of getting around after they arrive at their destination. Airline industry. Air travel is one of the main way that tourists and travelers reach their chosen destination, and the airline industry provides various services, including scheduled and chartered flights. Companies within this subcategory may offer flights to domestic and international destinations, as well as both long-haul and short-haul flights. Car rental. Car rental services provide customers with temporary access to a car. These services can enable tourists or travelers to actually get to their chosen destination in the first place, but many customers use them after they have arrived, as they provide a greater amount of freedom for exploration than relying on public transport. Water transport. As the name suggests, the water transport subcategory includes all forms of transport that carry passengers across water. This includes ocean liners and ferries, which tend to voyage from point A to point B, as well as cruise ships, where transportation is not the only purpose and the voyage itself is a huge part of the travel experience. Coach services. In many cases, coach services are one of the most cost-effective ways for tourists or travelers to reach their chosen destination, and they are especially popular for day trips, although coach travel does cater for international travel too. Moreover, local bus services also fall underneath this umbrella. Railways are another popular transportation method, helping passengers to easily get from one location to another. Rail services are especially popular with domestic travelers, due to their convenience and regularity. Moreover, many major cities make use of subway-style rail services, facilitating quick and easy movement. Spacecraft. A more recent form of transportation, which is going to become increasingly influential in the years ahead, is the spacecraft. The most famous example of a company operating within this area is Virgin Galactic, which is hoping to be able to provide commercial space tourism via passenger trips into space in the near future. 2. Accommodation. The travel and tourism industries also both contain the accommodation sector, with people requiring overnight accommodation for varying lengths of time. The accommodation industry offers a variety of different options for customers, catering to different tastes, budgets and requirements. In addition to providing shelter and a place to sleep, many companies in the accommodation sector also provide a range of other services. Hotels. The most popular form of accommodation for tourists. Hotels are establishments that offer overnight stays on a short-term basis. They provide guests with private rooms, which will typically include an en-suite bathroom and other facilities. Additionally, most hotels provide services like housekeeping, room service and laundry. Shared accommodation. Hostels are a form of shared room lodging, where guests pay for a bed in a dormitory-style setup. Rooms will each provide multiple beds, with guests sharing kitchen and bathroom facilities. They are typically classed as a budget option, and are usually provided on a self-catering basis. Camping. A form of outdoor accommodation, which makes use of temporary shelter, usually in the form of a tent. Tourists and travelers who camp may opt to stay at a commercial campsite, which will provide additional facilities or amenities, or they might prefer to make their own campsite in a publicly accessible area, like a national park. Bed and breakfast.
My client says that